Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome back to another edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. First and foremost, just want to wish you all a happy new year. We have reached 2018. Hope everyone had a nice holiday. Let's keep things rolling. You know the routine. Get to our website. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. It may be a new year, but I still want you to take your love of sports to the next level, and I'm glad you're listening to the Bookmaker Podcast. Don't forget, we got the links to all the best European, Asian, and United States friendly bookmaker sites, and our bookmaker guide is available for you to download. Like I said before, learn it, live it, love it. I also want you to check out Dan's cricket blog and Patrick's American sports blog. You can find that on our website as well. Show Dan and Patrick some support. And also make sure you check out my blog, the Mr. Bookmaker football blog or soccer blog, depending on where you are in the world. All right, let's keep things rolling. Our concept for today, outsiders. So what are outsiders? These are competitors that are not expected to win. Basically the opposite to the favorite, usually offered at lengthy odds. We'll be getting to the playoffs for the National Football League very soon, so clearly you'll be hearing about a lot of outsiders. But first thing is first, I hope all of you who are big fans of college football really enjoyed those games on New Year's Day. I'm talking about the BCS, the Bowl Championship Series playoff, that game between Georgia and Oklahoma. What entertainment that was. Number 3 Georgia beats number 2 Oklahoma, 54-48 in double overtime. Awesome game to watch. Then you had number 4 Alabama beating number 1 Clemson 24-6, getting some revenge in the process. So that means the final game for the college football championship will take place on January the 8th between number 3 Georgia and number 4 Alabama. And I'm on topbet.com or topbet.eu, whatever you like, to share these odds with you. At the moment, Alabama is favored by 4. And as for the money line, negative 190 for Alabama, positive 160 for Georgia. This will be a very entertaining game. You will not want to miss it. I'm not crazy about college football, just being honest with you, but I'm really looking forward to watching that game between Alabama and Georgia. Like I said, January the 8th, Alabama against Georgia. Should be an awesome matchup. Don't miss it, but also get to topbet.eu as soon as you can. Place your wager. And before we continue, make sure you check out our website. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. On our website, you have easy access to the Bookmaker 101 Basics. That includes steps on how to register, bet, and withdraw. Our Bookmaker Guide is available to download. Read through it at least 2 or 3 times. Remember, I want you to become an expert on this whole entire online sports betting process. And remember, we have betting strategies, tips. Don't forget about our A to Z sports betting lingo. Remember, you may not sound like an expert just yet, but keep on listening to the Bookmaker Podcast. Check out our website, and you'll be good to go. Okay, everybody, I'm still on topbet.com or topbet.eu, and now it's time to go over the matchups. For the NFL Wild Card Playoffs, are you ready to roll? Well, of course you are. That's why you're listening to the Bookmaker Podcast. Let's take a look at the matchups for this weekend. First, on Saturday, the 6th of January, you got 2 games. There will also be 2 games on the 7th of January, which will be a Sunday. But first, on Saturday, the 6th of January, you got the Tennessee Titans at the Kansas City Chiefs. At the moment, the Chiefs are favored by 9 points. As for the money line, negative 460 for the Chiefs, positive 360 for the Tennessee Titans. This game will be played in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. Chiefs will be tough to beat in their own stadium. I am giving the Titans a slim chance, but will be tough, obviously. Also on Saturday, the Atlanta Falcons at the Los Angeles Rams. What a change for the Rams. A few years ago, they were in St. Louis. They're back in Los Angeles, and now they're back in the NFL playoffs. They did win their division, They'll be hosting the Atlanta Falcons, the defending NFC champions. Rams favored by 6.5. As for the money line, -280 for the Rams, +240 for the Atlanta Falcons. Then on Sunday, the Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars won their division. They won the AFC South. The Bills, they got in with some help. They scraped their way into the playoffs. And the Bills have not been in the playoffs for a very long time. Actually, the last time they were in the playoffs was in 1999. So those fans in Buffalo surely must be excited. Doesn't matter if it's a road playoff game. The fact is they are in the playoffs. But the Jaguars are favored by 8.5. As for the money line, +340 for the Bills, -430 for the Jaguars. And you know, the Jaguars do have a pretty big advantage here on the spread, according to the bookies at TopBet, but the Bills have a good shot at winning. Just letting you know that. And then, of course, the last game on Sunday, the 7th of January, you got the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints, a classic NFC South matchup. The Saints are favored by 7. As for the money line, +250 for the Panthers, -300 for the New Orleans Saints. And when it comes to the National Football League playoffs, remember, wild card weekend, only got 4 games, but doesn't mean I'm ending this podcast early. I gotta share some prop bets with you, and I will still be sharing some prop bets with you here on topbet.eu, but I also got more prop bets to share a little bit later after this. So let's take a look at some of these. Who will throw a touchdown pass first? Marcus Mariota of the Titans or Alex Smith of the Kansas City Chiefs? Remember, both of these quarterbacks must start. If you choose Marcus Mariota, payout shows +160. If you choose Alex Smith, payout here shows -200. Next, will Marcus Mariota record a rushing touchdown? If you choose yes, +350. If you choose no, -500. This next one I like very much. Will running back Derrick Henry record a touchdown? Remember, it doesn't say anything about him having to start. He is a backup running back. If you choose yes, payout is +180. If you choose no, payout is -240. Derrick Henry is not the starting running back for the Tennessee Titans. The starting running back is DeMarco Murray. But look, it's the playoffs. It's a long season in the National Football League, even though it's only about 16 games, but it's a very physical sport. You always got to assume that the starting running backs are really beat up by this time of the season. They need to keep them fresh. So that's why I think it's a good idea to place a wager on Derrick Henry recording a touchdown. Now, it doesn't say a rushing touchdown or a receiving touchdown necessarily. It just means a touchdown. So if he gets in the end zone, whether by running it or by catching it, and you place a wager on him, then you'll be a happy camper. Next, will Delaney Walker record 5 or more receptions? If you choose yes, payout here shows +120. If you choose no, payout here shows -150. There are plenty of more prop bets here for you on TopBet. Make sure you get there as soon as you can. What about this one? Will Julio Jones record a touchdown against the Los Angeles Rams? If you choose yes, payout shows +150. If you choose no, payout shows -180. For those of you people out there who are big on fantasy football, if you had Julio Jones on your team, you probably were not very happy with him. So who knows? Maybe he'll have a breakout game, and that'll be insult to injury. But of course, for Falcons fans, they just want to see a victory. What about Todd Gurley? Will Todd Gurley record 2 or more touchdowns against the Falcons? Remember, he must start. And if he does, and you choose yes, payout shows +160. If you choose no, payout shows -200. So get to topbet.eu as soon as you can. Enjoy these prop bets. Now, we are getting closer to wrapping up this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast, but it's NFL playoff weekend coming up, and I'm in the mood to share some more prop bets with you. So I'm on bovada.lv. That's www.bovada.lv. Let's take a look at some more prop bets. So, how many wildcard teams will win on wildcard weekend? Let's take a look at those wildcard teams again. Remember, the teams that win the division are not the wildcard teams. I know it could sound a little confusing to some, but let's take a look at those teams that are the wildcards. You got the Buffalo Bills, and you got the Tennessee Titans in the AFC. As for the NFC, you got the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. So, how many teams do you think will win on wildcard weekend? If you pick 0, payout here shows +170. If you pick 1, payout here shows +120. If you pick 2, payout shows +375. If you pick 3 teams, payout shows positive 1,600. If you choose 4 teams, meaning you're choosing that all 4 wildcard teams will win this weekend, payout shows positive 15,000. I am not joking. That's what it says right here. I'm on bovada.lv. So if you feel like placing a wager on all the road teams to win this weekend, this will make for a very, very exciting weekend for you. No joke. I got another prop bet for you. Will a wild card team win the Super Bowl? If you pick yes, payout here shows positive 900. If you pick no, payout here shows negative 3,500. Or what about you just want to choose this one? Will a wild card team make the Super Bowl? If you choose yes, payout shows positive 350. If you choose no, payout here shows negative 600. Some really fun prop bets here on Bovada. Remember, wild card teams can win the Super Bowl. It's happened before. I believe one of the last teams to do it was the New York Giants. What about this coming weekend? Will a fake punt be attempted wild card weekend? If you choose yes, payout shows positive 150. If you choose no, payout shows negative 200. Now, at this time of the year, remember, we have that coaching carousel. There have been teams that have fired their head coaches. So with that, let's take a look at some of these possibilities here. One of the prop bets here is who will be the next head coach of the Detroit Lions? There are a lot of candidates here. Looks like the favorite here is Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator of the New England Patriots. Payout here shows positive 115. If you're thinking it might be Mike Vrabel, the payout here is positive 500. Maybe it might be Josh McDaniels, another Patriot coach, another Patriot name. Payout here shows positive 1,000. What about who will be the next head coach of the Indianapolis Colts? Like I said, this coaching carousel always takes place at the end of the year. These teams got to fill their positions. Right now, it looks like the favorite is Matt Nagy with a payout of positive 300. Or Dave Tube with a payout of positive 325. Or what about Jim Harbaugh, head coach of Michigan? He has not been in the NFL since that debacle situation with the San Francisco 49ers front office. If you're thinking it's going to be Jim Harbaugh, payout here shows positive 400. What about who will be the next head coach of the New York Giants? Josh McDaniels appears to be one of the favorites. Payout here shows positive 150 if you're choosing Josh McDaniels. Or Matt Patricia once again. Payout here shows positive 200. Possibly even Jim Schwartz. Payout here is positive 200. So like I said, get to bovada.lv as soon as you can. Enjoy these prop bets. Because like I said before, this coaching carousel will not be lasting very long. And with that, everybody, it is time to wrap up this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. I really do appreciate the support. Make sure you show some love to Dan's Cricket blog and Patrick's American Sports blog. And don't forget to check out my blog, the Mr. Bookmaker Football blog, or soccer, depending on where you are in the world. And also, for those of you hardcore NFL football fans, make sure you enjoy Wild Card Weekend. Don't forget to watch the College Football Championship between Georgia and Alabama. Should be an awesome one. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Bookmaker Podcast. We'll see you next time.
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker over and out.